What's up guys, this is Dabo. I thought I'd do another video of dissecting some racing, and we're taking a look at a few games from the weekend. There will be no clips from the first Formula Golf race because I forgot to record that one, but all the other incidents I had should be pretty much part of this episode. The first one here is in the first lap of the Ford Mark IV cars race, and the incident will happen with the cars ahead, and I somewhat get involved at the end, but I don't take too much damage from it. But we should go over the guys ahead. So the first guy here that we're following is Logger, and then ahead of him we have Nilas, and then ahead of him is Mr. Bullet, and ahead of him is Bill's Kid. And what's gonna happen is Mr. Bullet and Nilas will have some contact, which causes Mr. Bullet to lose control of his car, and he slides into Logger further down the road. So sort of a chain collision, and very unfortunate. So let's just play the clip first, and then we can take a closer look.
He's spun facing backwards.
Whoa! Who was that?
So quite crazy. The rest is just not really that much. Quite crazy things happening here. Let's start with approaching the corner. We can see Bill's Kid, Mr. Bullet, and Nilas behind, and then Logger a little bit more behind again. And what happens here is Mr. Bullet gets the widest line and starts braking relatively early compared to Nilas. However, Nilas should take note of this and start braking himself. He is quite close to Mr. Bullet. It's hard to judge from this position how much space Mr. Bullet has on the outside and how much space is on the inside. However, they do get too close to each other, and I do believe there's more space on the inside for Nilas to take advantage of than there is for Mr. Bullet to take advantage of on the outside. So that's sort of where you can draw the line, or sort of who to look at when trying to decide what happened there. And now Nilas brakes, Mr. Bullet brakes. Mr. Bullet is now already in his turn-in, and Nilas does not look to be in his turn-in, but as they make contact, they both start to turn in here, and Mr. Bullet now has lost control, and Nilas is sort of behind him, shunting him forward, and Logger here is quite unlucky, ending up into this slide here, and loses control of his car as well. You can see me here quite lucky to get away with nothing too much, but yeah, quite a lot of chaos behind. So that was the first one. Not too much I was involved in. The second one here is something I was directly involved in, contact, and after going through it and looking at it again, it was clearly my own fault here for causing this accident. It's with Nilas again. You can see him here on my right. He's coming up and getting a run on me here. Getting side on my side. And we're basically going to go into this very tight or narrow corner. Not too much space on either side of the road, and it's on the very last lap of the race. I had just gotten up to P3 earlier, and then I noticed Nilas was very close to catching up and getting P3 from me, and I was quite on edge at this point because I noticed that it's a 1 hour race, and right before the start finish line to get to the last lap we had 5 seconds. So had I gone past the the start-finish line 5 seconds later, the race would have ended and I would have been P3. But we passed the the start-finish with 5 seconds to go, me and Nilas. So I knew that one more lap would mean that I probably would lose my position. And because of this, I lost concentration, stopped focusing on the racing, and also got a little bit hot-headed. And you can see here, we're coming up to this corner. I know he's on the side of me, however, there's a lot of space to the left, and I'm not willing to give too much room, which I should have done. You can see a video of me and Bill's kid racing this section of track perfectly. Side by side, we go side by side through this very narrow corner, and show a lot of respect in our driving, which I failed to show here. Nilas really hadn't or can't really be blamed for any of what's about to happen. So let's just play. You can see we're coming in, starting to brake, and I'm not giving myself enough room. I'm basically causing the incident myself by not giving myself enough room on the outside. There's a lot of space here. I can take a wider line. Okay, he's going to get by my side, but at least maybe I can make it so that I exit the corner next to him. But you can see here, I've already decided I'm going to turn in because I can see him coming. And it doesn't work out well. I lose control here and go sideways into the outside of the road. So yeah, not too much more to say about that. This is going to be from the second Formula Golf race. This is the first lap of the race, and there's a sort of larger collision happening in this clip. So I'm gonna scroll through. We go into this very tight corner, and you probably know what's about to happen. First of all, there is something happening between these cars, I think, which we can't really talk too much about from my perspective. One of these two guys ends up outside the track. Some sort of contact. They're both going into towards the apex very closely together, maybe not showing each other enough respect here and the different lines. But let's not talk too much about that. The incident here that I'm going to focus on is between Extrovert there in the darker car and Paulie there in the blue and white car. Or cart, no. Okay, it's a formula, whatever. What happens there is, well, there's a bunch of cars and they need to brake. And Extrovert is sort of in a very tricky position because he's sort of gotten himself on the outside. And at the same time, he's also very close to Paulie. And for him to get a good side-by-side, or for him to get safely side-by-side to Paulie, he has to go a lot way over on the curb here, which is very unstable if you are running on relatively cold tires, considering it's the first lap, and also braking from or doing very hard braking into a corner. So it's a tricky position for him, and Paulie looks to be very close to other guys as well, so he's braking hard. Yeah, I can't really blame them too much for making contact here. The worst thing is a very light contact. You can see the rear right wheel of Paulie making contact with the front left wheel of Extrovert as we go through here. Just scrub, and there's a little bit of contact there. Paulie goes to spin out to the left because of it. But you might say that Paulie, yeah, I don't know, it's too much to say if he would have gone into ice in front. Probably not. It looked like they were all braking at the same rate here. But the contact we're focusing on is here, of course, and Extrovert does seem to get out of it quite cleanly, and Paulie unfortunately spins out. So what happens there is that I am left with this dilemma, or this incident in front of me, and I have one guy here very close to me behind me, and another guy here also very close on the other side. And I'm just thinking, okay, and of course Chaos Bandit, who just passed, so I had to make room already for him to get past. I just thought there is really no way out of this. I can't go on the outside here because this guy is coming very close and there's grass. I could maybe now make a quick turn to the outside. However, I was not sure if there was another guy to my left here at this point, or to my right here at this point, because this guy is so far back. However, I think there's no one there. But, you know, in the heat of the moment, you're in this situation, and I thought the safest thing here for me was just to completely stop the vehicle. So we scroll forward here. I brake, and Paul is of course in the middle of the road, which of course you can't really blame him for what happened. And he does make a very good decision by staying put and not moving, so good on him. Yeah, I'm about to get a little bit of a nudge here by these guys, of course. Not braking hard enough. And we get a little bit sideways there. We stand still, let people just sort stuff out, and then we get moving again. So a bit of chaos. However, this is part of racing. Okay, let's go into the last clip of the day. It's in the radicals, and it's again me and Nilas having some contact. And he's basically coming up on my side. We're going here down this straight. I need to let my film buffer a little bit now. And he's basically getting the run on me. We go into the braking zone, and a very simple case, I start braking too late, and we make contact as we go into the corner. And you can see how early, watch how early this contact is, and then see how much time it takes for you know, the resulting case to happen. So the contact happens at this point. Very unfortunate. It's, I would say, it's relatively light contact. It's hard to say. It's hard to see when I scrub like this. Let's play. Bam. And a little bit of laggy footage, maybe. I don't know what happened there. It looks a little bit jank. Anyways, that was a little contact that happened. It was very unfortunate. However, at this point, I have regained my control of my vehicle, and I'm hoping, like really hoping, that Nilas is going to manage the same. And for some while here, it looks like, oh, he's okay. Yes, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And then he goes to the side. And I realize, of course, that it's a result of the contact that happened. And so my mind sort of shuts off because of this. I sort of start focusing just on this and forget that there's people coming behind us, which is super dumb. But watch what I do. So I just, okay, I caused this accident. I need to take responsibility. Let's just show it by showing to him here that I'm stopping for him. And you can see here, we got two guys coming. And I'm basically with the 3 wheels still on the white line, or still within the track, so terrible place to stop. But these guys have luckily noted that there's been something happening in front of them, and they make a safe pass between me. And I also realize now that, holy shit, I'm standing in the road basically, so I try to make a last-ditch effort of getting to a safer location. However, DK and whoever is coming, Paulie, I believe, makes their way through. And then I just line up and wait for Nilas to gain his position and continue on my way. So, quite interesting things to take a look at. A little bit of iffy driving from me, and some nice perspectives to see yeah, what happened in the larger crashing this weekend. Goodbye.